Good morning, Rovers. It's just before sunrise and we're getting ready to head out. We're heading for the Potomac River. That's 60 nautical miles. That's a bit of a stretch, but we do have a wind, a fair wind, the first one in quite some time. It's 10 knots from the east, so we'll be on a close reach to a beam reach the whole way. It is, as I said, 60 nautical miles, so I suspect we'll get there right around sunset. If we can't make it there by sunset, there is another anchorage a few miles closer that we'll aim for. Time to crack on.
The Wave Rover 650, a design based on my solo ocean crossings.
So this is my breakfast, lunch, and supper on a sailing day. This is 1 pound of ground beef. And this is 70-30, meaning 30% fat. And when you finish cooking this, save the fat for your less fat meals, such as the canned tuna and seafood and eggs, which is my other staple. So this, we refer to this as OMAD, 1 meal a day. And it's enough. It's enough for a guy my size to keep me going all day. So this is iodine, and I put about 4 or 5 drops on my meal once a day. And it's because most food now is iodine deficient. I mean, that's part of the reason they put it in salt, but they put the absolute minimum amount in salt. So if you, you want to check this out before you do it. I have, my research has told me to do this, and but do your own. Okay, so let's do our little nav briefing. So right here, that's where we are, the little red triangle, and that's in Annapolis, and we're on Chesapeake Bay, and we're going to do something very, very ambitious here. We're going to head right down to the Potomac River, right down here. So just to give you the big picture, we're really on our way to Norfolk, so the Potomac River will get me almost halfway. So that's about 60 miles. Now we don't have any real dangers or obstructions. We just have to get out of Annapolis. Right now we have an east wind and the current against us, so we're going to motor out into the bay. But once we're in the bay, we expect about 10 knot winds with 20 knot gusts from the east. So it's a long distance to cover in daylight hours, so that's why we're going to motor out. We're not going to mess around with trying to tack our way out. And once we get into the bay, it'll be more or less a straight shot all the way down to the Potomac. And when we get to the Potomac, it's going to should be just at sunset, maybe even a little past sunset. And we're going to tuck right in behind this little headland, because the wind will remain from the east to northeast, and we'll just anchor right in here. And that's our plan for today. Like I said, it's ambitious, 60 knots. It's not that warm. It's only about 10 to 11 degrees Celsius that we're expecting. We're also expecting rain. So the trick is going to be to try to stay warm. Now, we do have a alternate, and that is to stop in here at the Solomons. That'll save me about 10 or 15 miles if we're not making the mileage that we expect. All right, so time to crack on with the rest of the preparations. Well, it's blowing 15 to 18, and the gusts are in the 20s, but it just really doesn't look like it. Here, take a look. You know, and we're making, amazingly, about 5 knots. I probably have a little more sail than I should, but that's okay, because when the gusts come, she does tend to round up a bit, but I can stay on the helm and I can alter that. I'm trying to make extra miles. If I wasn't, I'd probably take a panel down because like I said, we're averaging 5 knots, and we actually have a 1 knot current against us for the next hour and a half, and then starting around 10. So right now it's just a little after 8 in the morning. At 10 o'clock that changes, and I start getting a current in my favor. So with this wind and a current in my favor, I'm looking forward to that.